that we all recognize as a group that ultimately you are the champion for justice.
Thank you, Bruce. I think that this is the moment when I should probably sit down. I might be better off. But there's some very important things that need to be said because we have a number of people who have been involved in producing the Civil Justice Program, including the Civil Justice Program Steering Committee. And I want to acknowledge the important role that the legal community has played in this program. It's not John Nockleby, and it is not just Loyola Law School. There are many faculty involved at one level or another. We have faculty from other schools, including Ann Bloom, who's here from McGeorge, who's somewhere around here. We have incredible talent in the legal community that's been a part of the Civil Justice Program from the beginning. The Civil Justice Program started 8 years ago when Bill Daniels and Christine Spagnoli made a presentation to then the Dean of Loyola Law School, David Burcham, and said, you know, we really should have a program that focuses on civil justice. Bill became chair of that steering committee. He still serves on the committee. Steve Goldberg is now the committee chair. But I want to mention those, not everyone was able to be here tonight, but I want to mention particularly Steve Goldberg and Dan Crowley from Booth Mitchell. Dan. Bill Daniels, of course. Tom Dempsey. Myra Kronos. Nancy Frazier from MedLegal. Steve Lichtman from Lichtman and Lichtman. Jill McDonald. We have two judges, the Honorable Sonny Miller, where are you, Sonny? And Marty Oberdorf, both Superior Court judges. Molly Murphy, trial consultant. Amy Solomon, that name should ring a bell. Ken Spencer from Baker here. We have a whole array, and did I miss anybody who's here tonight? Their names are on the, I hope, on the overhead. I want to mention one person in particular out of this group, and that's Steve Goldberg. And Steve, I'm going to ask you to stand. Where are you, Steve? Steve Goldberg is this incredible ball of energy. And Steve, stand. Steve, you're not going to sit down yet because I'm going to say he's such a ball of energy that he has lost 100 pounds. In the course of being on the Civil Justice Steering Committee and being chair, we are working him to death. Steve, we're going to stop working you. I don't know, you're going to tell us at some point when to stop working you so hard. But Steve, you've been a fantastic chair of the committee. All of us in this committee have been benefiting from your leadership. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. There are also some very important people in this room who are passed on reason. I want to call your attention to them. Jim Brosnahan can't be here tonight, but Tom Girardi is. Tom is always a part of the Civil Justice Program. Thank you, Tom. Bruce Burlett, our MC, has been here every single year, I think. Thank you, Bruce, for being a part of this as well. You're going to hear from Edith Mathai, who is going to be speaking shortly, and I love you, Edith. Tom Nolan, where's Tom? Tom Nolan is sitting right there. Mark Robinson, right here as well. I don't believe Ray Boucher and John Collins were able to make it tonight, but Bob Baker did. Bob, I'll see you. Gretchen Nelson. There's Gretchen. Skip Kiesel. I don't know if Skip made it. I know his firm did. So yay for Skip. Brian Hanish. There are other champions of justice in this room. Nominations are being accepted. Please do. I'm serious about that. I also want to speak very briefly, and here comes the 1-minute sermon. Well, not really, but I do want to speak about why it is important to honor members of the bar as we do tonight, and also to herald the important role that the civil justice system plays in this country. This evening honors two worthy advocates, and in that respect recognizes the fundamental role that lawyers play protecting our society. Indeed, this evening honors all of you, counselors, advisors, judges, friends, advocates, for your role in ensuring and securing the fundamental rights of a free society. It's a critical role, and I thank you for serving that role for all of us, the rest of the society. But I also want to mention something else about this. This is a dinner that observes and celebrates and recognizes a system of justice. As we look around the world at peoples everywhere who, despite great odds, seek justice, as in the Arab Spring or in China or in our own country, one of the central features of those claims for justice is an independent judiciary that functions outside the political power structure, and to understand how unique that is in the world is incredible, and we celebrate that tonight. But I also want to say that an independent judiciary is only the beginning. Access to the courts is important to all of us, and especially to business and enterprise. Many people don't realize the extent to which our economy is dependent on the prompt resolution of disputes over trade conflicts or competitive practices or a myriad of other issues. It's not just individuals who need access to the legal system. It's enterprises, large and small, that need courts that are open, that work efficiently to resolve disputes in a reasonable period of time. All of those features are important to a well-functioning economy. And this is where all of us involved in the legal system have a responsibility to protect the courts and to protect access to courts. It is a privilege, as we have done tonight, it is a privilege to honor the judges who are present here, and wherever we are, to honor the judiciary. These judges are our public servants performing incredibly important roles in our system of justice. However, as the judges themselves know too well, we also need to protect the system of justice. We can't expect judges individually or collectively to explain to the public, to the media, to Washington or Sacramento, the importance of keeping courts open. When judges attempt to explain why citizens or businesses need access to the courts, it sounds like they're asking something for themselves, when in fact they're asking on behalf of all of us. That brings me to a request. In an era of budget constraints, the judicial system must be protected. It's meaningless to speak about resolving disputes, whether between businesses or involving individual claims, when the courthouse is closed. It is meaningless to speak about an independent judiciary when controversies take years to bring before a judge because resources are simply not there. To sum up, we must resist budgetary cutbacks that result in closing courts. That is an imperative incumbent upon all lawyers to to face that basic fact. You cannot have justice if you don't have open courts. As Alexander Hamilton said in Federalist number 22, laws are a dead letter without courts to expound and define their true meaning and operations. So as we celebrate and honor these extraordinary honorees, Mike and Donna, my friends, my champions of justice, let us also remain mindful of the larger purposes of the civil justice system, the system that we must preserve and protect. Thank you very much.